Welcome back to the RedBeard Outdoors podcast. Today is that every other Thursday special edition of the podcast where we do a why first Phorm Outdoors from different people's perspectives. We've got an amazing guest today. We've got Lewis, and he is just someone that has gone through an amazing transformation, guys, from over 550 pounds down to 252 as of today. And I say over 550 because, and he'll tell us here, but he stepped on the scale and it read E. It hit 550 and then read error after that whenever he went to the doctor to start his process of weight loss journey. And so that's just an amazing journey in and of itself. There's a lot of ups and downs I'm sure that we're going to get into here, but long story short, guys, you're going to want to stay tuned for this one. Definitely excited to tell your story here. Now, with that being said, we were on the Boots by the Fire podcast, which is something that we were doing on the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group, definitely go join us over there. And then Lewis mentioned his journey and how much weight he had lost. And I said, well, I definitely want to get him on and let him tell a little bit more of his story other than just in the comments on our podcast on the page there. So with that being said, who are you, man?
Well, my name's Lewis Cuttitta, Central Florida. Like you said, I've lost over 300 pounds. Don't know the exact number, but like you said, it was over 550 when I started, and I was 252 this morning. What else? I mean, I'm at a loss for words.
Tell us a little bit about that too.
Okay.
You
were 22 years, fixing to retire. Gonna move to Georgia, Northwest Georgia. Excited for the move. Wife and kids, they leave Sunday morning at 4 a.m. and I'll get the house wrapped up here and sell it and head that way. And then go on to a new adventure. Don't know if I'll get back into it up there. I'm trying to start a new adventure of my own. Life coaching for bariatric patients. Try to help one person. If I can help one person in life, my life has succeeded because I know where you are mentally. I know how it is. I know everything that goes along with it. I know how you feel, and I can just relate. If I can just help one person in life succeed like I have, then in my eyes, my journey will be complete with that. Other than that, I mean, what else?
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So you've got a family, you've got kids, you've got a wife, and so that the big thing that I that stands out obviously is the number, the amount of weight that you've lost, but the struggle that goes behind that even more so is something that I definitely want to highlight here because that's something that for a lot of people they can't even comprehend losing 10, 15 pounds. And you've done exponentially more than that. And it's been, I can't even imagine, honestly, hitting that weight at 550 pounds plus. That's something that I'm sure kind of, I don't want to say snuck up on you because I'm sure you noticed gaining weight, but at the same time, it's not something that you set out to do on purpose. And so kind of walk us through, with that aspect of things, like how did you end up letting it slip so much that you got to that point with the job that you had and or have in law enforcement, and then walk us through once you hit that point some of the triggers that made you want to make that change that you made.
Well, when I was younger in high school, I was an elite athlete. Baseball, football, basketball, wrestling, weightlifting, played varsity all 4 years. Every sport I ever played. Just fit. My senior year, I benched almost 400 pounds, squatted over 500 pounds at 189, 190. Wrestled, went to state, the whole 9 yards. Just then after that, I went out to Texas for a little bit. My mom I went on vacation, found out my mom was sick. Just graduated high school. Still eating the way I ate as an athlete, burning all the calories. I needed a job, so I walked down to the prison. Didn't have a car. Walked down to the prison. Got a job. They liked my size. They liked everything about me. Muscular. So they said I was a fit. So went in there, got a job, and that's where it all started. Being a correction officer, law enforcement. You work. You're in the heat, and I just kept eating. They gave us free food and everything else. And it's a sedentary job at sometimes, and then sometimes it's not. Depends on what goes on and how the clientele act. Other than that, it's pretty sedentary. Then the weight just started creeping up. I really didn't care. But then in 2006, my mom died suddenly. I found her, did CPR on her, didn't survive. Kind of went into a state of depression, real bad depression. Started drinking real heavy, spending $100, $150, $200 a night in a bar.
Wow.
Lost. And then just eating and drinking and eating and drinking. I mean, heck, for dinner, I'd eat 50 chicken wings. And then, of course, life just caught up. Then I met my wife. And then in 2008, met my wife. And then sitting there, and one night I called her drunk. Never forget it. Called her drunk as a skunk. Yelling and screaming and hooping and hollering. And she told me she can't do that. She don't want a man that lives in the bar. And she gave me an ultimatum. And ever since then, I never really walked back into a bar. I mean, I drink occasionally, but when she gave me that ultimatum, I live by it. And as of today, this day, I haven't touched alcohol since my surgery date, which was before 420 last year, at all. I quit drinking pretty much before that, but I don't touch alcohol or nothing anymore. I'm 100% sober for over a year now. I really don't even plan on drinking again, to be honest with you. But back to the other story, kind of got offhand a little bit, but
No, you're good.
my
So,
mom
well,
died.
let me ask real quick. So, your mom passed away in 2006.
Yeah.
Then you started spiraling down, and then you met your
Hmm.
wife in 2008. Had you
Yeah.
gained a significant amount of weight in those 2 years?
Yeah. I probably gained, say, 100 pounds, 150 pounds. Because, I mean, I was eating, drinking in the bars every night. I mean, I wouldn't eat at home. I'd go out to eat every night. Single, making decent money, doing what I'm doing, and just doing that. Then after my mom died, I moved back to Florida to be with my
Mm.
dad. So it all started spiraling downhill here because I had no bills to live with my dad, making decent money at the time, young, wild and carefree, no kids, no nothing, the whole 9 yards. So.
Hmm. I got you. Okay, so then you met your wife in 2008 down in
Hmm.
Florida.
Yeah.
Um, and so she obviously knew you weren't necessarily into the fitness, but I'm sure you were still a stocky dude, even gaining 100 pounds. So at that point, you're probably what, around 300, around the 300 mark.
Oh, at that point, I'm probably close to 400.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So around 400 pounds when you met your wife,
Because
and
I've always been very, very, very strong.
mhm.
Very dense muscle, very weightlifting muscle, like Olympic. Like I did a lot of weightlifting all growing up. So I was very stout. I carried my weight very well. I told people my weight, they never really believed me how much I really weighed. Um, Even at my heaviest, I was still
No,
able to
that
do
makes
my
sense. So
job.
you were close.
I was still able to do my job at my
Okay.
heaviest, even with someone that's on our SWAT team. Just keep up all day. So.
Hmm. Okay. Gotcha. So you were around 400 pounds. You met your wife, and then you
Hmm.
kept spiraling. And what year were you saying that she gave you this ultimatum of, I can't do this anymore? Obviously, that's a lot of stress on
Like
somebody to, have you gone and then being gone at the, gone out drinking and
like
eating
2000,
and
I
not
want to say
really
around
changing that.
2009. She wanted me to quit going to the bars and hanging out.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
that's when we became
So a
serious. We
year
got
into your
engaged.
marriage.
No, we weren't
Mhm.
married yet. We were just dating.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so I apologize. So
Yeah,
you've been dating for about a year, and then she kind of
yeah,
just let you know, hey, I
yeah.
can't really continue down this, especially if we're getting married. Okay, that makes sense. All
Yep.
right, and then so you got engaged. So you gave that up. Was it just kind of cold turkey?
It wasn't cold turkey. I mean, I still drank at social events and stuff like that, but I quit going out to the bars every night and quit going to hang out with
Gotcha.
friends. And I had kind of isolated myself from the friends that kept me in that crowd because I
Yep.
wanted my life to succeed with my wife now.
hmm No, that's awesome. So that's something too that I just want to highlight. Like you've got people that um, they'll call you friends, and and you probably felt like they were your friends, and you related to them to a certain level, but they were also kind of holding you back from making that progression that your wife was like, hey, I see this in you. You can make this change. And it
Oh
was
yeah.
cool. It's cool to hear that you made that shift, understanding that that was a better route rather than where you were at that moment. You could live a better life, doing what
Oh
she
yeah, a
was
lot better.
pointing out to you. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So you stopped hanging out at the bars. You hadn't quite stopped drinking yet, but you stopped hanging out at the bars, going out and spending a bunch of money, going out to eat, and then um, a year in or so, you guys get engaged.
hmm And then, I just kept gaining weight and kept eating. Um, I lived my life by I lived my daily schedule by what I was going to eat that day. I
Mm,
woke up thinking about food. Heck, on the way to work, I
mm,
would stop at Dunkin' Donuts, get 2 donuts, a coffee. Then I would get to
mm,
work and go eat eggs, bacon, sausage, corned beef hash. I ate all that stuff at work. Then I would eat lunch. Then I would do all kinds of, eat chips throughout the day and sodas and work a night shift, midnight shifts for 11 years. Um, eating all night and gorging myself. I mean, being because I'm bored, I'm eating. So it just my weight slowly picked up, slowly picked up, slowly, until it was almost to the point of no return. I don't
Now,
know
was
if
this something that you were engaged, but was this something that you were um, kind of hiding from your wife? Like you weren't eating with her, you were eating by yourself, almost like
no, I
uh,
would eat
you
with
know,
her. No,
an addiction where you're doing it.
no, I would eat with her.
Say that again.
I I, I would eat with her. I didn't
Okay.
hide nothing. Um, and then just eat. I mean, dinner. I'd eat 2 subs. I'd eat a whole pizza. At the jail, I'd order a whole pizza just to for dinner and eat the whole pizza all night. And just I don't know.
hmm
It's sad. Now that I look back at it, it's sad. But at the point in time, it was my life.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that definitely makes sense. And it's good. Again, it's good that it wasn't necessarily a hidden thing, but at the same time, you recognized it wasn't really. I think we might have cut out here for a second. Brief interruption, guys. Just want to remind you that as we're getting into season, our season's just a week away. If you're listening to this on the day that this comes out, get your gear. If you have any last minute purchases that you need to do, go over to BlackOvis, use code RedBeard10, go snag some gear. Hopefully it'll get to you before season. I kind of wish everyone would be able to get their gear well before season, test it out and experiment with it. But whatever it may be, maybe you just procrastinated, maybe whatever. Go and get your gear over at BlackOvis. Best place to find your gear. That's where I love to go personally. Also, don't forget to get into the over $5,000 giveaway, the Hunt Gear Giveaway Package, where we're giving away a 5K from Initial Ascent. We're giving away gear from BlackOvis. We're giving away a Muley Freak Bino Harness setup, Game Changer. We're giving away Leopold stuff. Guys, you want to get entered. There's a bow being given away, a basically new bow. I didn't use it in the field last year, tuned it, used it as a backup bow. Fantastic bow. All of those things. Go check it out in the link down below. Get entered in on that so that you can get some new gear and rock the stuff that I trust, that I believe in, that I use, and now you can use. So with that being said, guys, again, there's no purchase required to get entered. There are many ways to get bonus entries. Go check it out and send it to a friend. Now let's get into this conversation. All right, guys, we had a little bit of technical difficulty, so we're back. We're dressing different clothes. We didn't do a costume change or anything like that. We had to come back and make sure that this story got told, because it really is something that I want you guys, the listeners, to hear from Lewis here. He just has an amazing story. So where we left off, we were talking about how Lewis was eating basically an entire pizza and a sub, if not multiple subs, for dinner. And that's kind of how we got to the point where, between stretching your stomach out, being able to handle that much food, and not using all of those calories, obviously, as you're not an Olympic swimmer, like Michael Phelps. And so at that point, when you had gotten to that point, what was your catalyst to say, I need to make the change now? Like, what if it was one or two or even three things? What was it that made you want to, make that change and not eat as much, not be as big as you were anymore?
What happened was my blood work's always been good and perfect, and I'm healthy on the inside, but I was overweight. My cholesterol was always real low. Blood sugar was always real low. A1C was always 4.8, 4.9. Resting blood sugar was 70s, low 80s. But everything started creeping up, because once you get to a certain point, the weight of your chest won't let your body exhale the carbon monoxide more. So your body starts retaining carbon monoxide, and I was becoming anemic. All my blood work was starting to slowly climb up. My A1C was starting to come up, and blood work was starting to, quote unquote, take a shit. So my doctor said, dude, your obesity is killing you. Your body can't keep up anymore. At that point in time, I said, okay. So then I started the yo-yo diet stuff. The ketos, the carnivores, the fad diets, the South Beach. What was that? The Nutrisystem stuff. All that stuff works, but once you get off of it, you gain all your weight back. So I would lose 70, 80 pounds on keto, gain 90, 100 back. Go back on keto. I would taste the cheeseburger, and the next 2 weeks I'd eat nothing but cheeseburgers. And it's just, what my final breaking point was is when I couldn't play with my kids anymore. I come home from work. I have to go lay in bed for an hour just to let my back, my knees, and my feet rest, so I can gather myself to come back out to play with my kids on the floor. Even just sit on the floor to play with my kids. And then I couldn't move around the floor because I couldn't get up without the assistance of my table or my couch or whatever, because I was over 550 pounds. And I'd sit on the floor and play with my kids, or my son wanted to go outside and play catch with a football. I couldn't run around the yard and play catch with him. I had to sit into a chair, and me and my son play catch in the front yard, but I'd be sitting in the lawn chair. He'd throw the ball to me just sitting in a chair where I couldn't get up and run, because I couldn't risk getting hurt, because then if I went to work hurt, I couldn't work. So that was my whole thing of getting into the side of the bariatric surgery side of it instead of doing it on my own. So I just couldn't.
No, that makes sense. So, and I can't remember. I didn't listen to the full first portion that before we lost connection on the last call, but I don't think we had tapped into that yet. So in the last time you mentioned that you had stepped on the scale. So you mentioned now all your blood work, you weren't able to play with your kids. So there was, 2 strikes right there that you were like, I need to make a change.
Yeah.
You weren't even able to sit on the floor or throw a baseball with your kids without sitting down.
Yeah.
And then you went to the bariatric doctor and said, look, I need some help. And you got onto the scale. Now, you told this, I think, in the part that unfortunately got lost. due to connection issues. You mentioned that you stepped on the scale, it hit 550 on the scale,
Yes.
and then said error.
It said E.
And that was kind of your E. Yep. So you maxed out the scale at the bariatric doctor's place. So that was kind of strike three. You were like, all right, this is done. Like I need to make a change. And so walk us through. There was a couple times where, you were going to go in for that surgery. So it wasn't just a miraculous cold turkey,
No.
I'm going to go in, get the surgery and have it done. You had a couple issues there. Tell us about that.
Well, I went in, I started the process, got everything done. He scheduled me for my endoscopy because they have to go in through your mouth to check your stomach to make sure everything's all right in there. I went in for the actual endoscope. They wheeled me back into the OR. I legitimately got off the table and walked out the hospital with my wife. I said, I'm not doing this. I can't do it. I don't want to die on the table. So then we came back in, rescheduled it again. Then I had to go get cardiac clearance because I was so big and so heavy. Went to do all my cardiac stuff. Went to the doctor, found a cardiologist that would do just the test instead of giving me a full 6-month evaluation on a heart monitor and the whole 9 yards. I went to go do my stress test on the treadmill. Walked in. They said, "How much do you weigh?" I said, "Over 550." They said, "Well, the treadmill only holds 350." So I couldn't even do that. I couldn't even do the test to get clearance for my procedure because they didn't have a machine that would hold me. So he had an idea of going through my thigh into my artery and doing a heart cath that way. And then I asked him, I said, "Why are you going to put me to sleep to make sure I can be put to sleep to have the surgery? That makes no sense in my head. You're going to put me under anesthesia because you got to go through my femoral artery to look at my heart. That makes no sense to me." So that doctor didn't work out. So then I, went to a different doctor and, I pretty much doctor shopped till one would clear me. Finally, I found one that would clear me because I have no cholesterol issues. Like I said, my blood pressure was high because of my weight, but it was getting to the point where it was uncontrollably high. I was on 4 pills a day. 4 blood pressure pills plus a water pill at one point in time just to get my blood pressure to 190 over like 110, just to get it manageable where I don't stroke out.
Wow.
Now I'm on no medicine whatsoever. 100% no medicine. I live life every day, wake up, live life. But then
that's amazing.
Went to the doctor. He cleared me. Started going through the steps again. He rebooked my surgery again, wheeled me back in there. I got off the table again and walked out. I said I can do this on my own. I was scared. And obviously it didn't work because I ended up having it. 6 months later, gained all my weight back. I had lost pre-op because you got to lose weight, show you can lose weight before your surgery. At that point, I was below 550. I was in the 530, 540s. So sitting there going through everything, then I had to go through everything again because everything expired. My psych eval, my nutritionalist, everything expired. So I had to redo everything again. So that was another process of going through everything. And finally, I just had enough. I told my wife, I said, "I'm either going to die on the table or I'm going to die in my bed." I said, "I can't go on living like this no more."
Yeah.
And I'm quote unquote better dead than alive because you're not going to be 35 years old, take care of a bedridden husband the rest of your life. At that point, I went through everything. I was scared to death the day of surgery. I almost walked out again the day of surgery. I went in the bathroom at the hospital, had a one-on-one conversation with myself in the mirror, and said, "Dude, am I going to die on the table or I'm going to die in my bed?" That's it. And then, I sat in the bathroom for about 10 minutes, cried my eyes out, scared to death. not knowing if that morning was the last time I was going to see my kids or my kids would see me alive. Just stuff like that, because your body goes through so much stress under anesthesia when you're out. Went in, got dressed, came back out, laid on the bed. I told the doctor or the nurse, I said, you need to give me something because I'm fixing to leave. And then she's like, oh, the whole rigmarole, we got to talk to the doctor. Well, I heard the doctor walk by, so I called him. And he come in and said, no, give him something right now. Give it to him. Give him whatever he needs.
He's not leaving. Yeah.
Yeah, call his wife back here. She can be power of attorney, whatever. Give it to him now. They didn't give me enough. I was still 100% coherent when they wheeled me into the operating room. That was pretty scary. All the machines and all the stuff that's around you, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Then I woke up an hour later.
Yeah.
Like nothing happened. Best nap I ever had in my life. And then that's when my journey started. Something clicked in my head. I don't know what it was, how it happened. As of today, I don't crave any food. I don't crave any sweets. I don't crave nothing. I eat to survive. I take vitamins every day. Everything that goes into my body is nutrition-wise. And I've actually lost more weight since we talked last time. I'm down 4 more pounds.
Wow. That's amazing.
All I eat.
So where are you at right now? If you were over 550, where are you at right now?
I was 248 this morning when I got on the scale. When I woke up.
Wow. So over 300 plus pounds, because again, we don't know an exact weight because the scale maxed out. So over 550 pounds down to 248 this morning, and that's a continuous, slow and steady journey. You're not yo-yoing. You're eating to, like you said, for nutrition, not for pleasure, and that's a huge deal. That's a big deal, because now being able to play with your kids, being able to go out and enjoy nature, being able to do this move that your family is heading out to do and start a new journey in your life, after 20 plus years of law enforcement service, and now you're heading out to, hopefully you're able to help other people as well in their journey as far as bariatric surgery patients, because this is something that is a big deal. And you obviously put a lot of work in as well afterwards. You didn't just do the surgery and then that was it. Like, you continue to put in work, and so it wasn't just it's not a cheat code for people. It is literally there for, in your case, it was the last resort. You're either going to die in your bed or you had to make a change.
Yeah, it's not a cheat code per se, as people would call it. It's a tool for your tool belt. Because when you eat, when you engorge yourself and eat, you can be on a diet all day long, but if you sit down and eat 3 steaks, 3 potatoes, and a big bowl of salad full of ranch dressing, you're not doing yourself any good. Like for lunch today, I had 5 shrimp and I'm full. 5 large shrimp, and I was full for lunch today. I drink 2 to 3 protein shakes a day. And by the way, First Phorm protein is amazing. They have helped me along my journey. I can't do whey anymore, so I use the vegan line. Wish they had more flavors than the vegan, but I go through so much, it's getting mundane. But other than that, I take my collagen every day. I take my creatine now every day because I'm back in the gym. I work out 3 days a week. I don't push myself in the gym. I just go there, get what I need to get done, and I leave. I'm not to that point yet of where I want to push myself to the extremes. I tried that already once. It doesn't work because I can't intake enough calories and sustenance to sustain a hard workout. I'm gaining my muscle back. I used to be able to go in the gym when I was heavy, put on 315 and rep it, 4 sets of 10. And now, hold on, something popped up. Can you still see me?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now I went into the gym. I put on 85 pounds on the bench press and could barely touch it. I've lost so much muscle mass, but I'm back up to now getting, 135, 150. It's a slow process of 4 sets of 10 now. My strength is still there, but my stamina is not. It's like muscle memory issues. You just got to put it. You got to
right,
put
but
in.
also on this, I just want to point out, like, if you're at 550 and you're benching 315 for reps, that is similar to where you're at right now,
Yeah,
benching the weight that you're benching right now.
yeah,
So if you compare more percentages of weight versus the actual number itself, that makes sense, because your body was used to having
yeah,
to have the muscle mass to be able to lug around that 550 pounds. Your bone density is more because there's more strain on your
yeah.
bones. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Not to encourage people to get to that weight, but if you literally cut all the fat off of someone who is 550 pounds, if you cut all the fat off, they would look jacked out of their minds, just because they have that muscle that's able to lug that stuff around and move that weight. I mean, that would be like you right now throwing 300 pounds on your back and walking around with it and trying to throw a baseball and playing with your kids. Like, that is an extreme amount of weight, and so that's a big deal to be able to do that. And you bring up a good point, when you're, you obviously you had a surgery that restricts the amount that you're able to intake, but now you're more dialed in with what you take. And so, the protein shakes help you out with that so that you can keep your protein up, so you're not losing the muscle mass. You're actually able to gain muscle, and in those limited amounts of, because you could still screw yourself over
Oh
by
yeah.
eating all carbs for the amount of food that you're allowed to eat. You could really mess yourself up that way too. And so, staying focused like you are, that takes dedication, that takes work, and that's a big deal. So that's awesome that you're able to do that.
Anything else? Where do you want me to go now?
Oh, no, you're good. So just with that, I just wanted to ask you, you bring up the protein shakes, but what are your other two reasons why you've chosen First Form, and even, the First Form Outdoors Facebook page and such? Why is that the group that you've chosen to link up with in your journey through this, 300 plus pound weight loss?
The First Forum Facebook group is amazing. It's a very group of people that are like minded. Nobody bullies, nobody puts anybody down. Just the community aspect of it and the sense of belonging. Um, it's an amazing atmosphere in the group. Um, just the community. You guys are great. Everybody's there to help everybody, and if anybody has any questions, and you ask it, and within minutes you have 100 answers. And everybody's answer is around the same thing, but it's all different in its own way. Because whatever works for you might not work for me. What
Hmm.
works for them might work for you, but not for me.
Yep.
So it gives you options.
Exactly. Exactly. No, I couldn't agree with you more. It's a great way of putting it. So the community aspect, the quality of the protein powders and the other supplements that you've been able to use,
Hmm.
especially after having that bariatric surgery, you have to be a little bit more careful with the stuff that you put into your body, even more so than most people. And so that's good, clean ingredients, good, clean, way of making the supplementation. What would be your third reason why First Form Outdoors for you?
Just the people. I mean, and the way that it's structured, the company is amazing. You can contact the company and you actually talk to a real person. Unlike other companies where you contact them and you get a bot. Press 1 for this and 2 for that and
Hmm.
16 for that. And now you got to wait an hour and a half to speak to somebody in another country. I mean, First Form, you call them and
Hmm.
right away, hello, how may I help you? The other day I was driving somewhere and I needed to find protein. I was low on protein and I couldn't wait for it to come in the mail. And the lady that helped me legitimately found a mom and pop store which was around the corner, which didn't even pop up on my Google Earth, on my Google Maps. And she said, "Oh, go here." So I went there, and guess what? They had the vegan protein, all the flavors, and the collagen. So I bought both. And it was just a mom and pop protein store, here in Orlando that I needed to get protein right away. And that right there is worth its weight in gold, right there.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So just to recap there for, for people out there listening, you're bringing up the quality of the supplements, the community and the education that comes with the community, but also the customer service is, and I would agree with you on that. It's unmatched. And I challenge anyone out there to call in to First Phorm customer service and ask them questions, whether it be about different flavors, different products, whatever it may be. You can always, of course, reach out to me as well and ask me any questions that you may have. And I'm going to leave a link down below as well where you guys can get into the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group, because that Facebook group is continuing to grow. And I love seeing people come in, like you mentioned, that are new to certain things and can ask questions and don't feel bullied and don't feel like they're being, they're asking dumb questions, or they should have read something earlier before they got into the group or anything like that. None of that is in the group. The only time that we mess with people or get them out of the group is if they're honestly, genuinely being jerks to other people in the group. And we don't encourage that at all. We want people to have a good experience, and that's really the whole slogan behind it, of experience more, is because we do want you to experience more of whatever it is that you enjoy in the outdoors. It could be fishing, it could be baseball, it could be hiking, it could be running. It doesn't have to be hunting and archery. There's a lot of that in the group, but it doesn't have to be that. It could be biking as well, So all of those things are a big reason to join the group for sure.
And then now my treat to myself is I want to go on an elk hunt out west. So I'm going to go kill an elk with my bow.
Love it.
So that was my goal in the beginning, is I want to be able to hike the mountains and get out there and go shoot a bow. Or I could shoot my bow, but get out there and elk hunt in the mountains with people. So.
I love it.
So that's what I want to be my goal to myself.
Great opportunity. Yeah, I would love to see that happen for you, man. That would be awesome. Well, sweet. Is there anything else that you want to leave with people out there, maybe that are experiencing your same journey or something similar, just in weight loss at all, that you would like to leave for them?
If anybody ever needs anything, needs to talk about the journey personally, privately, publicly, whatever, I have no problem sharing my story with anybody. If my story can save one person in life or save one person's life, then I feel like my job will be complete. My doctor, which is here in Lake Nona, Dr. Patel, he saved my life. It's the Nona surgeon, if you want to look him up. He's on Instagram. You'll see me all over it. We've actually become decent friends over it. He saved my life, quote unquote. Kept pushing me, kept doing everything. So I want to pass on that intensity to somebody else, where I want to keep pushing them and help them succeed in life. Just take it one day at a time. If you think you're to the point of no return, I was there, and now I got my life back. If you wake up in the morning and you engorge yourself with food, wait till lunch and then start over again for the day. One day at a time. People say all the time, food's not an addiction because it's a necessity. No, food can be an addiction, and I was addicted to food. And if anybody needs any help, I'm sure you'll post my links in the chat. Please reach out, even if it's not bariatric related, just weight loss related. I've learned a lot, nutrition wise, how to do this and how to do that. What works for me might work for you. What works for me might not work for you. But if you want me to talk to you about it, I can talk to you about it. I can research it. I'm here to help you if you need help.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And guys, yes, I'm going to leave the links down below where you can find Lewis, where you can get into the First Phorm Outdoors Facebook group as well, and anything else that you may need. that we've spoken about today in this episode. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Lewis, again, congratulations on your continued journey through health and better strength and everything else, just a better quality of life. And of course, good luck on your move as you and your family relocate. So with that being said, have a fantastic. Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, they're already up in Georgia. So yeah, well, good luck on your endeavors at the house you're at now, and then of course, whenever you get up there with your family, that'll be a happy reunion. So with that being said, guys, like I always say, get out, live your life, and love it.